weeks. Hope all's well. So this is, well, those yellow boxes in the center there are from China. They are Chibsons. That means they're made in China. So, hey, let's take a look. We're going to do an unboxing today for the second one. I've already done one unboxing. This will be the second one. You heard me play the guitar. So what is it? Even better, which one is it? We know it's a Chibson. Which one could it be? Doesn't necessarily mean it's a Gibson or Les Paul, or they make everything in China. Especially if it's a company that they're doing, if that company is doing the low-cost guitars for an American company, Fender, Charvel, all of them, including Gibson, well, they give away all their secrets to those companies, and they have all the specs. So they'll do an Epiphone, and they'll make one as a custom Les Paul and send it out. So what are the differences? Which one did I get on the second one? And really, these are not my guitars. I'm just setting them up. So here it is. This is the second unboxing. The first one was a 335. This is a Les Paul. This is done. So it's already been unboxed, obviously. And when it was unboxed, it would play really good. No issues playing it until you plugged it in. And then there was so much noise and feedback. Just noise, even playing in a clean channel, that it needed to be serviced heavily. You know what I like about this one compared to any of these bursts? Right around the switch knob, the color is always colored in. Always. Always. I can't... And I really like the fact that this one isn't. A friend of mine brought 3 of these guitars down the street, and he's moving. He asked me to set them up and check them out, and I figured it'd be good content. Didn't know what I was getting myself into. But I do have the rundown on this guitar. I just want to show you some more of it before I... Look at that. Made in USA in the back. Gold hardware. So those machine heads are great. They work fine. The nut on here is fine, even though it's plastic. Look at the binding. Look at the fretwork. The fretwork and the binding and the neck of this guitar, I'm casting my own shadow. I'm sorry about that. Are awesome. The inlays don't look fake, but up against the real one, they do. In this area, I've seen real Les Pauls. The paint just obscure it all and not look good. All the work on this guitar was done very well. Again, they're making really nice high-end Epiphones these days, and even putting in the Gibson hardware, where before they weren't. So these companies that are over there that are cheating are really making the real ones as well. So getting these fake ones, you're getting the guitar itself very well made. It's just going to be the type of woods they're using in a acoustic. It's going to be not great Brazilian wood. It won't be the best woods, but some of these companies are doing mahoganies and other common wood that we have here in the United States in our guitars. But they're not using the exotics, at least not on these cheap ones. So with this one, again, it sounded so horrible, I had to do a lot of work on it. So right off the bat, I bought a kit, a wiring kit. So this is a Switchcraft switch. And let you know that that plastic piece, the coin there, it wouldn't come off. So this is a Gibson thing. Gibson does this too, where the paint's not even dried yet, or the clear coat, and they put the plastics on. So what was cool is I was able to get all the other plastics off, but that is on there, and I didn't want to try to pry the clear coat to get the plastic off to change it. But you could see the paint work and everything. I've seen Gibson Les Pauls costing thousands of dollars that are not done as well as this one. So the tailpiece and the bridge are original. Even the pickup guards, original. The switches were non-functionable. I mean, the knobs were just completely non-functionable. They were so bad. They were not even like a toy. So I bought a kit that included all the knobs, all the CTS pots. I bought the black knobs because they don't give you the knobs. Same thing with the knob on the switch. They don't give you the knob, so you have to buy the knob color you want. The pickups are the Seymour Duncan SH4 in the back, which is hot pickup. And then in the bridge is a Jim Dunlop hot pickup. It's pretty cool. It matches this one really good. I forget the name of it. I have the instruction manual, but it doesn't say the brand. It doesn't say the model, just the brand. So it's kind of horrible. Again, I just wanted to point out that I really like how light it is over here, not dark. The bridge is the stock one from them. Same thing with, like I said, the tailpiece. So what I ended up finding out is I changed out all the wiring, changed out the pickups, and it was still humming on me. So like any good boy, I took out the all the wiring, all the pickups, all the pots, and I shielded it with the aluminum shielding. Put it all back together. It still had the same problem. Took it all apart again to find out the only thing I kept from the original electronics was the grounding cable that came with it, because it looked like it was there. I pulled on it, it looked fine. It wasn't connected to anything. So now I'm 2 weeks into it, because I had 2 other guitars of his, my friend Ed, which I was telling him, it's kind of risky buying these guitars because they're actually frauds. You didn't pay the adequate taxes on it. So you could get in trouble. You did hear the sound of it in the beginning. That was me playing through the Kempa. I will play again towards the end of this video so you can hear some clean channels and stuff. But those are high output pickups, so they don't really do a lot of clean stuff. It's still going to be gainy, but the pots really work really well. So when you use the knobs, the volume, and the tones, it really works great on this guitar. So this is not a channeled out, routed out guitar. It's solid mahogany, and it is 8.6 pounds. So that's actually light compared to the 1970 Les Paul Deluxe I have over there. It is 9.4 pounds. So it's almost 5 pounds heavier than this one. But again, like I said, it's not routed. It's solid. You can hear it. It sounds great. Right off the bat, the action, everything about it was good. I manipulated the neck a little bit. I did fiddled with the bridge a little bit, but it was actually the pickups themselves. They don't have good pickups. The pickups that they have over there are they cheat on the windings, so they're not really powerful. So if you're doing like the 335 I did, it was great for that one because it's not a high gain type of guitar where this one is. So knowing that, right away you have to take out the pickups. And then you got, the pickups are not going to be good enough. You got to change out the electronics. So it starts to get a little bit expensive. And let me just give you an example and show you the numbers here. So the flaws on this Gibson Les Paul Custom, which I found guitars between $5,500 and $8,500. This one he paid $206 with tax and shipping for the guitar. The wiring harness, I got a pre-wired one, was $128 with tax. The 2 pickups are $250. Strap lock was $30 because it's gold, so it was a little bit more expensive. I put some strings for $10. Knobs and the switches were another $18. So that came out to $642. $642. That's not without all the hours of work and labor, but $642. Now, unlike a Epiphone, you can get a $800 Epiphone that are pretty good, but they come with the case. So if you add the case onto this, it's another $70. Oh, and I had to put a strap on there, $18. Now your 642 is now $730. So we're right around Epiphone territory, but it has all the pickups. You know, I chose these pickups. So it's a little bit better than just getting an Epiphone with their pickups and later on changing them. So you get an Epiphone, you change out the pickups to what you like, but it's still an Epiphone. You do all the work to this thing. It's less than $800. It says Gibson. Plays really nice. This is really an extraordinary playing guitar. There's no grittiness on the fretboard. The frets are just really nice. Keeps in tune great. The machine heads function perfectly. I mean, you could cheat somebody with this thing, and that's not a good thing. I wish on the back, if I could find a little round thing that says fake, made out of metal, where I could take a little hammer and, like the size of a penny, and hammer fake on the back, I will. But this is not my guitar, and I was telling my friend, I go, one of the things about these happens to be, and I bought this from he got this from AliExpress and brought it over here, and I unboxed it and checked it out, and I was telling him that, you know, with all this work, so now we just said under $800, you can't sell it. It's a fraud. And if you do sell it to somebody, and let's say they're just not good people, and the police come and bust them one day, you know, and they figure out this is a fraud, they might ask you, hey, Gibson really wants us to clamp down on these fraudulent guitars. Where'd it come from? Oh, this guy. It's a fraud, and you sold it to him. Or how about this? You pass away, your family thinks that they have some heirloom they're going to sell. They sell it, and the heirloom that you left them was, they get, you know, in trouble. So you take a break here of talking. I'm sorry about that, but this really is a nice guitar. And when it comes to $800, so let's say in this particular case, you're in a band and you do play Gibsons, you recorded your music with Gibson Les Pauls, but you don't want to take your only good $6,000 guitar on the road. That's a good idea. It's a really good idea. You know, again, there's an edge with Epiphones make these $1,800 guitars now. They have a bunch of, I mentioned earlier, they have the Gibson pickups, they have all the hardware, but it's still an Epiphone. You might still get discouraged and you might not be able to sell it because it is an Epiphone. They don't have that that kind of label. Even on stage, people look and say it's an Epiphone. Well, if you're playing this fake Gibson and you're like, I really don't care, it sounds great, plays great, it does what it's supposed to do, and people think it's a Gibson. And if it gets damaged, it doesn't matter as much. You can always take the pay. Again, if you looked at the numbers, $200 for the guitar, where the pickups were $250. So when it comes down to it, you're paying for the build of the guitar, the wood, the frets, the machine heads, the nut. I would say in this guitar, the nut would be arguably the only thing you would want to replace. But since it's so nice, it's a really nice guitar. And even though I look down on, I've never, you know, I'm almost 60, I've never even thought about buying a fake one. This was brought to me. And I kind of think I might want to try to keep this and not charge him for the work I've been doing on the other guitars for him. That's terrible, huh? All right, so let me, I just want to show you Yeah, that's arguably that's hard to. So now you put $800 into it, which is a lot of money for some people, but you'll never get that money back. You could take all the hardware back off, and you only lost $200 for the guitar. That is really beneficial in a lot of ways. All right, I'm going to do an outro playing the actual guitar again, and that'll be it. All right, thanks, Gear Geeks. You guys take care, and sorry for the long video.